You built a real store, and every rating on it used to come with a way to fight back. A buyer left 1 star over something that was not your fault. You opened Feedback Manager. You made the case, and sometimes it came down. That habit does not work anymore. Amazon now lets a buyer leave a star-only rating with no comment attached, and below 4 stars. Feedback Manager will not touch it. The only path left is report a violation, and that path is built for a much narrower problem than the one you actually have. Subscribe, because next week I take a real seller account and run this exact audit start to finish. And today I want you to understand what changed and what to build instead of a dispute you can no longer file. Here is the change in plain terms. Amazon simplified the feedback experience so a buyer can tap a star count and submit. No comment required. That sounds small. And the part that is not small is what happened to your recourse. Under 4 stars, that rating skips Feedback Manager entirely, so the dispute flow you used to run does not open for it at all. The one door still open is report a violation, and that door has a real lock on it, because it requires an actual policy violation, a fake review, an unrelated product photo, profanity, something Amazon can point to in its own rules, a rating that just says the order was late, or the buyer misread the listing, or a support reply landed wrong, clears none of that bar. It is a real rating, it counts, and there is nowhere left to take it. Now think about timing, because this change is quiet in July and loud in December. Q4 order volume multiplies every chance for a late carrier, a damaged box, or a support reply that reads as short when the buyer just wanted patience. Each of those used to generate a written comment you could read and act on. Now it can land as a bare star count with nothing attached. And you are guessing at a cause across a much larger volume of orders than usual. And account health is not a vanity number. It is one of the things Amazon checks before it hands you the buy box on a contested listing. So a run of unexplained low ratings during your highest volume month is not just uncomfortable. It can cost you the sale you were counting on. So here is what I actually build. Instead of you opening Seller Central once a week to eyeball feedback, I pull the feedback data continuously. So a low star only rating gets flagged within hours, not whenever you happen to look. Then, because the buyer left no comment, I cross-reference that rating against the order it belongs to, the carrier, the delivery window, whether it shipped on time, whether it was a return or a support ticket first. Most of the time that cross-reference tells you the likely story even without a word from the buyer. And once enough of these stack up, the system flags the pattern itself. A specific carrier lane running late. A specific SKU with a packaging problem, a support window where replies are landing wrong, so you fix the cause instead of reacting to each rating one at a time. One more thing worth knowing, because filing the wrong appeal costs you credibility on the next one, report a violation still works, but only for content that actually breaks Amazon's policy, a review that is provably about a different product, language that violates community guidelines, evidence the review is fake, save it for those. A late box, a short reply, a buyer who expected something the listing did not promise, none of that qualifies, and filing it anyway just burns the appeal without moving the rating. Knowing the difference in advance is most of what makes this system worth having, because it tells you which ratings to fix at the source and which ones to actually escalate. So do this before Q4 volume hits. Pull your last 90 days of feedback and count how many ratings came in with no comment attached. Because that number tells you how blind you already are to your own account health. Then take the low ones and match each against its order shipping timeline by hand, carrier, delivery date, any support ticket tied to it, and see how many stories start to repeat. If you want me to audit your account health and feedback history and hand you the risk list in priority order, I do a 72-hour audit for $497. If you want the continuous monitoring and root cause system built so this runs without you checking it, that is a 14-day sprint starting at $3,500. Subscribe, because next week I run this exact audit on a real seller account, start to finish.